Give me likes, give me YouTube likes, hey! Alright, so today I'm gonna be doing a quick ranking video on the Super Smash Bros. Series, probably one of the most popular fighting game series, you could say ever made, I don't know, but there's only at least, I want to say like, maybe 5, maybe 6 of them if you separate the 3DS and the Wii U version. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, even though I never really played the 3DS version, but in the meantime, let's get started. Pretty much from the longest gap between Smash games from Melee to Brawl, and this Brawl is really, I want to say it's polarizing to me. On the one hand, yes, this game really got me into Smash. I was excited when I was first seeing footages of it, when I had that kind of access to like the internet or something. And then, like, yeah, just, like, seeing, like, the cutscenes from, like, the Subspace Emissary and all, it was just like, oh my gosh, this looks insane. I really need this game. And so, and Brawl, even if it was, like, a little bit of a slower, like, well, probably the slowest Smash game to play, it was still that good entry level when I was just getting into it. I mean, I was, like, fairly young, like, elementary, junior high, young, probably, which I wasn't, like, really, which, yeah. Like, Brawl is definitely the epitome of be like probably, I don't want to, I mean, I could probably call it the pedestrian Smash game, but on the other hand, like, that's actually can be why people also hate Brawl at the same time. It was easily just like, although it was like, did add more features from Melee, like some of the features were still like a little bit of a copy paste or just a toned down version of the modes from Melee. Like classic mode was just like way more blanded down. Like, it was just so dull in this game. Break the Targets only moved down to just 5 stages, which makes sense for a huge roster. And at that point, like, Break the Targets kind of like went into like Target Blast and Smash 4. And then like we didn't get like a Target, but pretty much not like a traditional Break the Targets anymore. And yeah, it still has the multi-man brawl. It still had All-Star, basically a Subspace Emissaries like Adventures mode from Melee. And yeah, like in general, it's like a good, and it also has events mode, which I should mention. And in general, like there's an easy way to say that like why Melee can be supremely better, where Brawl kind of like easily took the stuff from Melee, like maybe only add like a few things, like it has like the boss battles, it actually added Stage Builder, which is pretty like cool to play around sometimes. It has masterpieces, but they like take like a very short amount of time, almost like the amount of time I eat lunch, I guess. even shorter than my lunch time, just to like try the demos out. And yeah, so to me with Brawl, it's honestly just one of the harder Smash games just to like actually come back and play. It just feels so slow. Tripping in this game sucks. Like, it's because of the slower pacing of Brawl, and the graphics just don't look, honestly, the graphics in Brawl just kind of look like the worst in the series. I mean, Super Smash 64 was like very like N64 polygon figures, but that at least has like a certain charm into that. Melee in general just looks better than Brawl because Melee just at least looks more colorful and all. Brawl, it just like looks a lot more grimmier, more dread. Like, just Mario just looks so denim in this game, if that makes sense. So, in general, Brawl, just looking back on it, it feels like a very less appealing Smash game. And it's still fun in general, but it's also the idea where, like, I have Smash 4, I have Smash Ultimate, which in general are similar to Brawl, but better, in my opinion. And even so, like, yeah, like, to me, this could maybe be my least favorite Smash game, because I do have, like, strong takes to take from how Smash Brothers, it's just Smash Brothers on the, well, Smash 64. It's just Smash 64. But Brawl is just kind of, like, took from Melee, and maybe some parts were a little bit downgraded, also, like, upgraded in some senses, which I don't think it translated too well for some, but I don't know. That's just my take from it. So the very first Super Smash Brothers game, this game I really like. Obviously, the first entry in the series, not doing anything too complicated, rather than being ambitious as a first Nintendo All-Star crossover officially. There might have been some references of crossovers, of course, but this is, of course, the first to do it. But anywho, yeah, just like straight up what makes this great. However, even for being small to me, it's like, what is there to complain about this game when it comes to like character rosters, stage selects, maybe? It's such an iconic roster in general. You got like Mario, Link, Donkey Kong, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu. Like, I literally named them all, and it's such a good pick. And then like all the stages I can remember, and the unlockable characters are just okay. I guess it's easy to say that Smash Brothers, while it is a good favorite of mine, there is a good idea why it should be sometimes be called like pretty much the worst Smash series, mainly due to its age severely. Like, there's like not really a lot you can do in this game exactly. I mean, like I said, it's obviously the first Smash game, so this is definitely more of like kind of a test kind of thing, I want to say. Like, all you have, especially for single player wise, is like there's like the one player mode, which is now called classic mode, and then there's like the bonus stage, the 2 bonus stages you could do for records, like break the targets, board the platforms. And then there's also the training mode, which is, I mean, do you call that a mode in this game? I don't know, but it probably is. And yeah, also unlocking stuff in this game is pretty weird. Like, for some reason, you have to unlock item customizations, like if you want to turn off bombs or something. Like, for some reason, that's weird, along with unlocking data. I guess they just like want to add more, like, oh, you get this thing kind of thing, especially with like, despite the small amount of stuff they have. But I guess that's just easily why I would defy Super Smash Brothers. It's very basic, and pretty much after this game, there's nowhere to go but up. So then Smash 4 for Wii U and 3DS, I'm honestly just going to include them together. I actually didn't play the 3DS version as much. I mean, I pretty much actually got it like a little bit barely, like before Smash Ultimate kind of came out. Like, I didn't really play the 3DS games that often, so I'm just going to focus more on like maybe Smash for Wii U, but I'll try to include them together. But yeah, I think this is also a really tough one. This is almost like the most in-between Smash game, if I were to put it on the list, I want to say. Because on the one hand, yeah, like, the mechanics were definitely improved since Brawl. They actually, like, made it, like, a lot, like, it feels a lot better, a little bit faster. Maybe not as fast or not anywhere as fast as, like, Smash Ultimate or Melee, so to say. But it was hitting just the right spot where it was actually, like, a lot more fun just to play the game. The roster was, like, of course, not, like, hugely expanded, but it actually introduced some pretty cool characters, more third-party characters, which I didn't even mention when I was talking about Brawl, because Brawl, of course, introduced Snake as Sonic, and Smash 4 continued that with, like, Pac-Man and Mega Man, and just a whole other variety of characters. Introduced DLC characters like Cloud and everybody's favorite character, Bayonetta, which they could not, like, patch her well, even after a few patches later. But I'm not going to get into that, because overall Smash 4 has been a little bit more balanced compared to Brawl. Brawl was, like, really, like awful competitive, because, like, so much of the characters are actually bad, and then you get, like, Meta Knight, who's, like, the best character in the game. Smash 4 definitely, like, easily had that more profession. I think having, like, Bandai Namco, like, Entertainments, they call that, to be able to work on the game, who also made, like, what was that, their fighting game they made? Soul Carrier? I can't remember, but they basically knew the idea of how to, like, make a good fighting game and implement it to Smash 4, which made it really strong. I will say that the downside to Smash 4 is that, on the other hand, the game modes, like I think are actually worse than Brawl's in some senses. Like, Smash Tour is like, come on. It's just not interesting, worthwhile to go to. Classic mode is also a bomb on Smash 4, at least for the Wii U. 3DS looks really good with the multiple tasks you could take, but Smash for Wii U is just, like, unorganized with the classic mode. It's just, like, not as good. There's the classic crazy orders, which I didn't do. I actually didn't do as often because I was scared of doing them as a kid for some reason. But those were, on the other hand, really good modes. I think it had a home run contest. I can't remember easily. I know it had like Target Blast and it had like Trophy Rush, which was pretty fun. I think in general, it's just like from Smash 4 and Ultimate, like I kind of like cared less about the game modes and became more into like the battling, if that makes sense. But I think that's kind of like the idea where Smash 4 doesn't really have an adventure mode. It does really hurt this game a lot, because at least even with Smash Ultimate having a little bit what you could call a lackluster adventure mode, at least it's still adventure mode with like the cinematic cutscenes you kind of all want, and even revolved around some of the reveal trailers. But like, yeah, Smash 4 not having like some big mode like that does hurt it in some senses. Also, I'm gonna mention Stage Builder also was okay, but also like began to suck compared to Brawl. But in general, that's just how I would go with Smash 4, where it's, especially we're comparing to now, we have Smash Ultimate. It just feels like so like in the middle. Like, it's better than Brawl, it's not better than Melee, so to say. So this is just where I'm just gonna land it right here. And just as we could get enough for Smash Brothers, it was easy to see, as I mentioned, where with nowhere to go but up, it's easy to see why Melee is so critically acclaimed to probably be the Smash Brothers game in the series. Melee just took what Smash Brothers had, but they expanded on, if not like tripled or quadrupled the amount of stuff you have. You have so much like stuff you could do, but of course for basic reasons you get like a bigger character roster, although to me it is kind of a little bit of a more flawed roster, because like I think 6 or 8 of the characters, I think 6 are like Echo Fighters from like previous made fighters here, which of course makes sense, especially where I understand the game was like easily rushed, which is easy to obviously see that. But on the other hand, it does make it kind of like weird how they like never change up the like most of the fighters easily. Like Gandor from Melee still plays like a Captain Falcon clone, even like around like Smash Ultimate. Like his movesets, like his specials, like still feel very similar to Captain Falcon, which is just weird. But back to Melee though, I mean, you do get like new like unique fighters at the same time, which is nice. But overall, like the character roster would be anything surprising, except for having, you know, like maybe Ice Climbers, Game & Watch, and the Fire Emblem characters, Martha and Roy, are pretty unique or just different to have, especially where we never had Fire Emblem come to the Americas until Melee, which is can be kind of nutty for that kind of result. Of course, stage selection has been expanded upon. Some of the stages are, if not more, well, I don't know if I want to say they're more iconic than Smash 64, probably like in between or something, I don't know. But the main thing that makes Melee so good is that it just plays strongly as a competitive game for so many players. I mean, easily it's just so much fun. Like, even for being technical, there's like such a magic that makes it where it's so flawed with how like the mechanics feel kind of rushed. Like some moves are kind of janky or don't even work, but that's pretty much the magic of Melee, where it easily is such a flawed game that just ends up being just like so much fun to play. Like, come on, just play Fox all the time and you can still have like a great time. Otherwise, I'm not going to shy away from it. And I'm pretty much is going to include the idea where Melee is probably the strongest, well, actually it might be, I don't know, maybe it's tied with Smash Ultimate for the strongest competitive fighting game in Smash. And then I guess the other takeaway, like in a more casual sense, like the game modes they included, just really big how they included those. They have like pretty much one of the best classic modes. They also had adventure mode, one-player mode, where even if that's repetitive, it's still really cool how they had like custom maps from like the Mushroom Kingdom, like a Great Maze map, like in The Legend of Zelda, which I won't say it refers to like any Zelda game other than Ocarina of Time, I guess, with the enemies, and like F-Zero stages and like Bryn Star, which a lot of those are really cool. And then even though it is filled with like random versus matches, like you're fighting 3 Nesses, like that's kind of like ugh. Although it did introduce Giga Bowser, which is cool. And then of course there's the All-Star mode, there's the event modes, there's like they introduced like collecting trophies in the game now, like, and all of this sense, it's like this really is like a true sequel to an already masterpiece on the Nintendo 64, and was probably, and Melee, just a lot of people just know the GameCube for that game in particular. That's just how impactful it is, and it just is still like one of the better Smash games in the series.
Colors weave into a spire of flame.
And then finally, onto the last and latest Smash game, and probably the best in the series, is Smash Ultimate. And what do I want to say makes it the best, or at least my favorite Smash game in general? Well, I mean, this game is a mouthful with the character rosters, which at first it sounds really annoying because it does hurt having like actual good game modes, which to be honest, at this point, like I don't really care for like game modes at this point. Like, really, it's just all about like this big crossover and having all these characters, like having like Young Link, Pichu, just all those characters back, and then yeah, Ice Climbers, of course, the Pokemon trailer, like that was just really exciting, of course, and even having a bigger roster. If you really are into like randomizing the characters, it feels the most fun. Like Smash Ultimate feels the most fun to like randomize like your character stage selection, just because there's so much possibilities on doing that, which makes it really fun in that sense. The whole controls are just the best. Like they really mix in well between like the tension they were taking from Brawl and Smash 4 to make it like appropriate for like the beginner players, casuals, but at the same time it feels really fast, feels really competitive. Like they really Smash Ultimate, like things I could say on Smash 4 could apply to this, but Smash Ultimate like truly improved on it. I think Bandai Namco probably had like a better sense of like fixes they could do in Smash Ultimate. Not to mention it does look pretty similar to Smash 4 minus the graphic change, which I actually prefer the graphics from Smash 4 compared to Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate does look really good. Like, not by all means really good graphics, but like Smash 4, like I just love how like a lot more colorful and vibrant it is. And at the same time it wasn't like oversaturated. Like Smash Ultimate kind of desaturated maybe just a little bit, but it's still really good. Nonetheless, it did bring back like kind of an adventure mode, and to be honest, even though it was like a little bit repetitive with like some of the spear battles and all, like at least it was still doable for me just to play around and just be like, okay. And they did do some cool quirks, like be able to control like Master Hand at the very end, even though you could do that with Melee, which what seemed like a cheat code. Some say it's glitches, but I already talked about Melee, so whatever. And then I mean, yeah, like, I think that's just kind of all I want to say. I mean, yeah, like, the game modes that Smash Ultimate has, like, it has, like, a really fun home run contest. Like, they really spiced it up. Stage Builder is the best out of all the stage builders now. They were able to improve the customization abilities. It still feels like they could have added more, but, like, it's pretty much in just the right spot where at least I could maybe create some cool stuff, which I totally did. I did, like, Tetris stages, did, like stages based on movies like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, but I'm not going to get into that. Alright, then that's kind of cool. The only thing I will say that honestly does suck about Smash Ultimate is that the online still is kind of trash, which pretty much online for Smash has always been trash since the start of Brawl, but since I don't really play online as much, like, I'm honestly feel like it's not going to hurt it too much, because either way, Smash Ultimate really is the ultimate Smash game when it comes to, like, well, having every character in almost every stage. Seriously, why does Smash Ultimate not have Poke Floats from Melee? Like, I'm so, like, mad about that. Sakurai. Come on! And yeah, so even with this, like, and of course, like, the DLC characters were some crazy unique. I actually didn't care for like half of the DLC characters. I think it's easy for people to say like, oh, I only like these two or this one DLC character, but some of the conclusions they have are just so nice. Like having like Joker, Banjo-Kazooie, and Sora were like really awesome picks. And I will also say, wait, why did I forget his name? Sephiroth. But especially the obscured crossover with Steve from Minecraft was just absolutely bonkers. It was amazing having Steve in Smash, and it was so weird playing it. And he even kind of like resurrected Smash Ultimate for a little bit, especially after like some upsetting character reveals like Violet and maybe like a little bit of a mediocre one for Min Min. But yeah, so easily this is just where I say Smash Ultimate is Smash Ultimate better than Melee? Like, are they like equally as good? Well, the truth is, like, I think Smash Ultimate just ends up being better. Just like, I mean, sure, Melee has like the better game modes and all, and the trophy collecting, but like Smash Ultimate, like it gets to the point. You just want to fight. You want to battle it out with crossover characters, like stuff like game modes like All Stars and multi-man Smash. I don't know what's called in this. Like all of that like doesn't really have to matter with Smash Ultimate. Just the whole gameplay just feels really fun. They added like so much ways to like play when it comes to like the tournaments you can do, special Smash, like the amount of like game settings you can add, like a lot of like so much was just added to Smash Ultimate. Yes, it does look like Smash 3DS and Wii U when it comes to just like the character models. Well, at least some of them. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of Kirby. but like it ends up just like improving it like so much where like that's all you want to do, which why I feel like it's such a strong focus on Ultimate. Melee is still a great game. I even consider it overrated as some parts, but I feel like it's still just like a really blast to play. I mean, all these Smash games are so good. Ranking them is definitely hard, like so, but as this kind of results, like that's pretty much how I would like to place the Smash games. Thus concludes how I would rank the entire Smash Brothers series, and in this result, I hope to enjoy this video, of course, and of course, give me mics, give me Ikes, give me YouTube likes, and I'll see you later.